Greetings, friends, and welcome back to the Burgers and Fries podcast, your Bob's Burgers companion podcast. With you now for the third straight week in a row. Brian and Ryan are back here now.
I think it'll be us.
I think
for
that's
the rest
three
of it.
for the rest of it, for the rest of the time,
For the rest of forever.
Yeah.
You are stuck with us. Well, not for the rest of forever. We'll have other people on.
we will. We definitely will.
But you are stuck with us.
But it's more so we're glad that we have the time that we can come and do this, even though technically we don't really have the time, as we're both
Busy.
Again, quite busy. But I think next week after is really where we can start.
Well, next week
settling down.
Well, you know, we talked about it before, but next weekend is going to be we got extra.
That's our extra life, yeah.
On the Saturday, we have we'll have some time during the week, so we'll get a few in the can. Speaking of cans, and we'll enjoy
having that nice little back catalog, so we don't have to scramble and rush every time we need something done. So
that is true.
Yeah. So thanks again, everybody, for coming to listen. As Ryan mentioned, we do have an extra life coming up. For those of you that are familiar with it, check us out. But those that are unfamiliar, it's basically a 24-hour gaming marathon, and we'll be streaming during that time, and we'll also be kind of recording, like Ryan said, a few episodes here and there. We'll kind of do some live, I guess.
I think.
Is that the goal?
The plan I had was that we would do a live episode at least sometime in the middle of the night, because that's when we'll have time to do it.
Right.
And then of course we'll still release that episode when it comes time for that episode.
Sure, it's not going to be all done in one day.
No, but at least we'll do one. We'll just have a live session, because why not?
Yeah,
it'll be fun. By that time, I don't know what episode we'll be on, but it'll still be season 4, and it'll still be a good episode.
That's right. So you can listen in to the podcast that you're listening to right now a little later in the podcast. We'll have a little more information for you.
You can watch it while we're doing it.
That's
true. And then you'll see what things I cut in, because that's always a surprise.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's even a surprise to me until I watch the episode.
Yeah.
So here we are.
So this week, back to this week now.
Season 4, episode 5.
It's Turkey in a Can.
Turkey in a Can.
Which I wonder where they got that name from, the episode. Chicken in a can?
I don't know. I feel like I've heard the phrase before.
Right?
But I don't know what from. Or is it what is the thing, like turkey in a straw?
Turkey in a straw is a thing, yeah.
And that's a piano. Like isn't that a song?
I thought it was a fiddle. Song.
Yeah, it's a song, but yeah. So maybe that's where they're just playing on it, because it's just like a folk song, and they're just doing turkey in a can. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, so that was the episode this week. Thanks for everybody. That was our analysis of Turkey in a Can.
It's really tough.
No, the air date November 24th. It's another Thanksgiving episode,
and
I think this would have been the weekend before Thanksgiving of that year.
Okay.
If not, it was the weekend after. But it's still right around Thanksgiving time, which is great when they do episodes like that. I've got director and writers, directed by Buhwan Lim and Hyun Lim, and then it was written by the Molyneux sisters.
Hooray!
And I suppose we need the synopsis, don't we?
Yeah. Do you remember anything about this particular episode?
I do. I remember a lot about this episode. I like the holiday episodes, a lot.
This one stuck with me a lot.
I've been saying a lot today.
Yeah.
A lot.
This one kind of stuck with me as being like the first Thanksgiving episode that I remember.
Okay, it may have been the first one you saw.
Yeah, it's true.
Who knows?
That's true.
All right.
Because every time I think of Thanksgiving episode, I think of this one.
Sure. Determined to have a perfect Thanksgiving, Bob meticulously prepares the family turkey. Then, to his horror, he finds that someone then dumps the turkey in the toilet in an act of Thanksgiving sabotage.
Ooh. That's a classic Thanksgiving whodunit.
Thanksgiving whodunit. Man, I remember all those classic whodunits in the Thanksgiving theme.
Yes, like Charlie Brown and Rick and Morty. I don't know.
Charlie Brown had a whodunit Thanksgiving?
No, I know they had a Thanksgiving.
They do have a Thanksgiving episode,
but I don't know, and that's the other thing that stuck out is when the kids make their meal in Thanksgiving, and Charlie Brown doesn't know how to do anything except for butter toast, and so he just does that, and that's what he brings to Thanksgiving. Yeah. It's such a Charlie Brown thing to do.
But it's a good message, because it's not about the food. It's about the family. It's about getting together with
people. And with as cruddy as the weather is being right now, some butter toast sounds great to go with my tea.
Ooh, butter toast.
Which I have with me right now.
But we can't eat. You can eat while we watch, but you can't eat when we're talking. So
That's
we're going to pause.
Yep.
We're going to watch the episode. We'll come back. We'll give you our review of Turkey in a Can.
Turkey in the toilet? That's crazy.
It's not that crazy. I've seen crazier things in the toilet. You wouldn't believe what I've seen. I've seen a rat wearing a little hat.
What?
Twice. Same rat, different hat. I got a picture. Hold on.
Wait, is this the toilet turkey?
No, I got a new one.
What'd you do with the old one?
What do you mean, what did I do? I threw it out.
You threw out a perfectly good turkey?
It wasn't perfectly good, Teddy. It was in the toilet. Why does everyone want to eat food from the toilet all of a sudden?
Guys, I found the picture. Rat in a hat.
Oh, my God.
3 days I waited on a stakeout for that rat to come back. And he looks at me like, what are you looking at?
All right, and we're back with turkey in a can.
We are back.
How many turkeys were in the can? Do you remember?
7.
There were 7 turkeys. You counted?
No, there was 1, 2, 3, 4 turkeys in the toilet. 5. That's right. The final turkey. All 5 turkeys go into the pooper.
Nope. Yep. So he goes and buys all those turkeys, and they all end up in the can. But it's a little heartwarming, I guess, why it goes in the can.
Yeah. Now, I want to talk about...
Ooh, you want to talk about something?
Yeah, no, I want to talk about something on this podcast for once. It's always been about you, Ryan, and I'm tired of it.
Okay,
and no more. I'm turning over a new leaf.
Fine.
And so what I wanted to talk about is when you said he goes and buys 5 turkeys, and that's the part that really sticks out to me the most.
Okay.
Is when he has the conversation with...
Oh, you want to hop right into the side story?
I kind of do.
All right. Because that actually was one of the first notes, because I just actually did on by story side information and
and
all that stuff. Yeah, we can definitely talk about the deli manager.
Which is weird, because every time I've ever bought a turkey or been with someone who buys a turkey, you just go to the freezer, you pick it out. I never had to go to the deli counter to pick out a turkey before.
Yeah, the first Thanksgiving episode, he just went and picked one out. If you remember.
Yeah, because he's talking to him. This is the one.
That's our new dad. That's our new mom.
That's our new mom.
Yeah.
That's such a great joke. And so we have the turkey counter guy, and you say, "Oh, hey, it's you again." You don't see him the first time, right? You get him at the second turkey purchase.
Well, you don't see the first purchase.
No, correct.
So the first purchase has already been made because he's working on the 3-day brine because he wants to
father of the brine, what he calls it.
But then when the first turkey goes in the can and he goes to the grocery store, he says he wants another turkey, and he's not being judgy. The deli manager's not being judgy quite yet about the relationship that might be blooming, but he's being judgy about him chefing. Hey, not everybody can be a professional chef, huh? Mm-hmm. And he goes, I own a restaurant.
He's like, no, I am a professional chef. Yeah, me too, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like, yeah, I'm a professional chef because I, cook in my kitchen every day, kind of thing. So
yeah, so he's not. So he, the deli manager is not exactly. At the very beginning, it's just kind of one of those playful. Yeah, you suck at cooking turkeys too. That's fine. We all do.
Right.
Actually, and the butcher was voiced by Tuck Watkins.
Sure, I don't know who that is.
I'm not familiar
Tuck.
with that. I mean, his face looks familiar, but I'm not. Mm-hmm. It's just one of those. Here, I'll show you. It's just one of those. He's just a bit player in a lot of different things.
Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah, just kind of a bit player in a lot of different things.
I definitely know his face.
He's in a soap opera for 9 years.
Ooh, that's nice.
But yeah, it's not. I'm not quite familiar with everything he's done. But that's the guy who voices the butcher, as they call him.
Right.
In the episode.
Right.
I'm not sure
Makes
why
sense.
I call him a butcher, but
because he's behind the deli counter.
He is, but he's handing out turkeys that have already been cut and wrapped and things. It's fine. I called him the deli manager. Butcher's fine as well. But yeah, so you want to talk about his relationship and how it kind of blossoms amongst
and to
3
this
visits.
Really great, this really great kind of, I don't want to call it a run-on joke, but this. So the first evolving joke, really. Happens.
So the first meet, the meet cute, so to speak, follows it's basically just a cliche of a lot of romantic comedies and episodes.
Well, they do what what the viewer, jokes that are directly aimed at the viewer, right? They're going, it's like, oh, what's that? You can't cook a turkey, right? You're not a professional chef, but the viewer, well, that is Bob. He is a professional chef. Like that's why it's funny, because that guy's giving him. Some kind of friendly jabs,
chef.
Right? Some friendly jabs, and and it's like, haha, that's what's funny, because Bob is, but he messed it up, but he didn't really mess it up. So you feel uncomfortable-ish along with Bob, because Bob's like, well, no, I didn't mess it up. I just, it's a long story. Just give me another turkey,
sure.
Because that's all he wants. But the guy's like, it's okay. You're just not that great of a chef. Kind of jabs. Then the second time he comes back, he needs to order 2 turkeys.
Yeah. Well, I just want to make.
Oh no, he needs to order turkey. Yeah, it is 2 turkeys.
Yeah. So I don't. I just want to mention just real quick, like I said earlier, it is kind of the cliched of the romantic comedy in the meet cute, where that's just the way they wrote it. It's the happenstance. I'm going to meet this guy. Oh, and he's going to make a joke about it. So it just kind of it's just a random platonic meeting. And then the second time with the 2 turkeys, since it's
No,
literally the
I
next
think
day.
that was the third time with the 2 turkeys. That's the last time he goes. So he gets
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Then he gets 5 turkeys then, because he gets 2 turkeys and then he has to go back for the final one, and that's the one that he actually stays up all night.
It's the
cooking.
final one. Excuse me. Okay, I thought it was 1-1-2. It's 1-2-1.
Yeah, so
my
he
mis-
goes
that's
back-
my mistake. I can't count turkeys.
So he goes back for 2 turkeys, and he goes, and then the butcher's like, "Oh, I see what's going on here.
Right.
I'm flattered, but I'm taken. I'm in a relationship.
I'm in a relationship, and there are plenty of guys out there who would go for a messy bear, sloppy bear. Who go for a sloppy bear like you, and he's like, "Well, I'm not. What's a sloppy bear? Like, what's a sloppy bear?" And he's
Muffin
like,
top food
you know,
on the
muffin
shirt.
top, got food crumbs on the shirt. He's like, "Oh God, I do have food on my shirt," but he's a professional chef. He's around food all day.
Yeah.
And he's very busy trying to prepare Thanksgiving dinner. So again, like that may not be what Bob normally looks like or what Bob normally wears, but for this instance, unfortunately he let his appearance go a little bit. Like me right now today, I'm working from home. I'm wearing shorts and a shirt. I can't remember if I even showered today. Just sometimes you just let it go a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, he's
they
just kind of like...
Yeah, they have these interactions where the joke slowly progresses now, where it's like, oh, well, Bob is not gay. He's married and he has 3 kids.
Well, and that's what's funny, because he goes, "Listen, Daddy,
Yeah.
Listen, Daddy, don't you let one rejection stop you.
You gotta keep
You
keep
seem
getting out
great."
there. Yeah, you seem great,
He
but
goes,
I'm in a
"Thanks."
relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, but he talks about then there's the whole group of sloppy bears, because he has a friend that's into sloppy bears. Muffin top food on the shirt. And then he writes down the number on the receipt.
Deal.
Yeah,
It's no
write down
big
the number
deal.
on the receipt.
And I think Bob takes it too, right?
Well, it's
Well,
on the
he
receipt.
takes the receipt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was great, and then you have the third and final time where he meets up, and you have this real weird moment with Bob where he might be a little bi-curious.
Well, yeah,
It's really what it kind of evolves into.
Or he's just very tolerant of everything, which is completely fine. But he's like, so they go back. He gets the final turkey, and he's like, "You broke me down." Or
You're broken now. Look, things are not that great with Tony.
Yeah, they haven't been great for a long time.
With all the dancing, he's like, "No, Tony sounds like a great guy. Stay with Tony."
Tony's hot, but it might be time for me to settle.
Yeah,
which is a
right.
weird thing to say.
He's like,
Especially
"Oh no,
after 3 days.
you're way out of my league." is
Well,
what
no,
Bob's saying.
he goes. You should stay with Tony. And then he's like, "Do you want to go to the beach?"
Yeah, you want
And
to go
Bob's
to the
like,
beach?
"No, I'm straight, mostly straight. But you should call Tony."
You should call Tony.
And
he
I'm
sounds
married, but if
great,
I
yeah.
wasn't, who am I kidding? You're out of my league, or
Right,
something. Is what he
exactly,
says.
exactly.
So,
So
no,
it's a little like, oh, geez, maybe Bob's a little bi-curious. Maybe I don't know.
No, he's open to having relationships. That's fine.
Sometimes you're just a little lonely. You just want to hang out. I don't know.
Sometimes a guy named Tony just needs to get out of the picture.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, so
Tony's
that-
just getting in the way.
That whole weird side story is kind of a.
I thought that was so great. I love the little jokes, which at first are like real, very on the surface, like, oh ha, he is a professional chef, ha ha. And then it goes really deep into Bob going, I am married, but even if I wasn't, who am I kidding? I couldn't get you anyway. It just kind of evolves into that from, hey, I need another turkey.
Yeah,
and I love those moments.
Well, and that and there's just the whole thing is like, oh yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. He thinks like
Yeah.
this butcher thinks that things are just gonna go. He's like, oh, I'll see you tomorrow.
He's like,
let's go have
probably not.
sex. Let's just do it.
Let's just go. Let's do this.
I'll call you, and then Bob at the end does say, "I'll call you." Just I don't know if it was out of habit or just to try to pacify the butcher, but he does say, "I'll call you," and then that's kind of the end of that. We don't see the butcher again. He doesn't even get to come over for Thanksgiving.
No, he
It's kinda
doesn't.
sad. He has to go spend Thanksgiving with
With
hot
Tony. And things haven't been great with Tony.
No, maybe if he cooks a turkey, things will get better.
Maybe.
Hey, you again, huh?
Oh, hey, you again. And me, yep. I just, I came for a,
I suppose you want another turkey.
Yes, that's exactly what I want, a turkey. I didn't come for anything.
Okay, fine. You wore me down. Damn it. Things are not going great with Tony. Haven't been going great with Tony for a long time. Tony's hot, but maybe it's time for me to just settle.
No. Look at me. I'm nothing. You love Tony. Stay with Tony.
I'm so sick of Tony and his dancing.
Oh, no, I don't know Tony, but I assume it's great.
It's not great with
You
Tony.
should definitely stay with Tony.
No. Yo, I'm taking my break. Oh, my God, we're doing this.
No, we're not.
Hey, what do you want to do?
I don't,
You want to go to
nothing.
the beach? Huh?
No, maybe. Wait, I'm straight. I mean, I'm mostly straight.
Let's grab
You
a
should
coffee.
Call Tony.
No, let's just have sex. Oh, God, this feels so great.
I should just, sorry, I gotta go cook this. Also, I'm married, but if I wasn't, who am I kidding? You're out of my league. It would never work.
What are you talking about?
I really gotta go.
I'm going to see you tomorrow.
Probably not. I'll call you.
So that's kind of the
That is
side
the
story I
only-
wanted to
that is-
tackle right away.
That is really the only side story as far as anything that happens outside the house.
Yes.
Everything else takes place in the apartment, in the house. we barely get a burger of the day, which I had to do some research on because you don't see the whole name of the burger.
You don't.
In it, and it's the Gordon Hamsey burger, which comes with squash and ham, so it's like a gourd, spelled like the gourd.
Yeah, because it's Thanksgiving themed. I get it.
And just a play on Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, otherwise the whole the whole episode takes place in the apartment because they're having Thanksgiving as a family. So because the previous Thanksgiving, which we all saw, they had to go and do it with Mr. Fischoeder, and we know that this is Bob's favorite holiday.
Yes, it was very difficult for him to kind of give that holiday up
Yeah.
with all of those traditions, which they don't continue over in this episode. So that may have been the last year that they do it. That's just, maybe they kind of evolved to just, hey, let's not have these traditions, but let's still have the tradition of being together as a family. Maybe that's what it kind of evolved into, where Bob kind of realized it wasn't, what you did, it's what you did / who you're with.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. We don't have to do the same thing every year, but let's just do different things
Let's
everybody.
be honest. The concept of tradition in the Belcher family may have been just we did that last year and we want to do it again, or
Sure.
we may have done it for 2 years.
Sure.
It doesn't.
I mean, the kids are, 13, 9, and 7
11,
or whatever it was.
13, 11, 9.
13, 11, 9.
So he's all excited to do this 3-day brine, a salt brine, which is going to make it taste very good. And Gail's already over. Did they explain? I don't remember if they explained why Gail is already over for Thanksgiving.
She had to come over.
Oh, because of a fire. She had to vacate
Because
because
of the fire. She put her dental dams in the dryer.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And Louisa, what's a dental dam?
Nothing.
Don't say that's cool. It's really what it was.
And then she brings all her cats.
Oh
so
my
she has
gosh.
3 cats now?
And the best part though is that hang on, I gotta get my notes back up. I was looking at.
Is it where she stole a cat?
Yes,
Is that the best part?
That's my favorite part. She's like, yeah, there I go. Even found one on the way over. You're just sitting on someone's porch. And Louise's like, sitting on someone's porch? And she's like, yeah, sitting on someone's
sitting in
porch.
the sun.
Just sitting in the sun. And it's like, oh, okay.
So she steals a cat.
Yeah.
She found one. She adopted one. And, so she already had one. And I don't even know if she has Mr. Business yet at this point, which is like the cat that actually has the name.
Right.
And that's one of them that she has already, but you don't really see the cats too much. You just see that Bob is highly allergic and taking medication for it. Which I do love that they do make mention that he's taking the medication only for the specific reason.
It wraps up
And
what
does.
happens
It's not,
at the end of the episode.
You don't write in something that's not necessary to wrap into the story, and they didn't just ignore it, and it wasn't just a surprise at the end. Oh, he's been taking medication the whole time.
Right.
It needs to be in there to have a coherent story. We need
Right.
to know that something is different, and if you're really paying attention, and the first time you've watched the episode, you may put that together way ahead of the time. Like, oh, he's taking medication. Maybe maybe something's happening. And he's sleepwalking, which I wouldn't have thought of.
No, I wouldn't have either.
I've taken allergy medications, and that's not one of the symptoms on my allergy medications. So
I've even seen this episode before, and I couldn't remember the specific reason to why he was sleepwalking. I remember he did it, but I couldn't remember why he was doing it. And I'm like, oh yeah, duh, the allergy medication. So
he's dealing with the fact that he's doing this brine, really wants to do it, but then every morning he wakes up after he starts the brine or does something with it, there's a turkey in a toilet. Okay, but before we get there, let's set up just what's going on in the family. So we've got Jean looking to write a Thanksgiving song. We've got Tina trying to sit at the adult table because she thinks she's old enough.
Okay, keep going. Go ahead.
And then I don't think Louise really has anything going on until the actual until she tries to run her own investigation as to who done it. But I think
of those 3, the Tina side story is the best of the 3 kids. She gets the best one. She has the great lines. She, dresses up as an adult and, falls flat on her face in her heels. And I love everything that she tries to do to become more adult. Like, I'm even working on my talking points in this economy.
Yes.
Which is not a talking point, but it's wonderful that she, she's trying to act more adult, and even all the way at the very end, when she swaps Teddy's name place card at the kids' table. Here, Teddy, you're sitting over at the kids' table. I was like, oh wait, where am I? And, like, Teddy just starts to walk over there.
Yeah.
And then Linda's like, no, Tina, Teddy isn't sitting at the kids' table. No, like it's not. Like, come on. It's getting ridiculous.
But she's wearing adult clothing, like she's got a blouse on and a skirt. And she's wearing the high heels, like you said.
Her makeup, and she comes in, she's got lipstick plastered all over her face to try and find which color to use when she sits at the adult table. And I love all of that. I think it's fantastic. Gene's song is still catchy and very
The
has
the
a lot
gravy
of,
train?
Yes, the gravy train.
Or the gravy boat.
The gravy boat. It's the gravy boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sailors in your mouth.
Yeah, which really doesn't sound great. And
You know, and also to be fair, Gail and Linda did help write the song, so I'm guessing
they did a little bit, yeah.
because originally he had a different song and they didn't like.
Well, they
was.
just go really with these lyrics, and so I thought that something original of his had to stay because it's very provocative.
I just think it's funny the way they say that. He goes, "Gail, you are a guest in this house, and you will sing what is given to you."
Yeah, right.
Then Linda
Like
goes,
when we're over at your house, we'll sing your songs. Yeah,
so
I
then
thought
they
that was
write
funny
this
too.
song, and he must. I'm guessing I wouldn't think that the lyrics stayed, but I would guess that maybe the musicality stayed, like the song that he had written,
Maybe.
and they just kind of wrote around that.
Yeah, but
because he
there's
goes
some really good
gravy,
songs.
whoopsie daisy, Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
Right, we can do it.
We've only got 2 days left to make a Thanksgiving song that will be passed down for generations. And a 1, and a 2.
I don't know about these lyrics.
What? Gail, you are a guest here. You will sing what you are given.
No, Gene, Gail's right. The song's kind of meh. It needs a little gravy. That's it. No one's done a song about gravy. Think about it.
Gravy. Rhymes with wavy, oopsie daisy, Patrick Swayze. All right, I'm in.
But yeah, so then Jean's working on the music. Tina's trying every day to look like she's at the adult table, and she makes comments like, look at the little kids, or
Oh, they're so cute. Yeah,
and
I work really well with them, or something
and then
like that.
really the whole Louise thing takes off only because after the first turkey goes in the toilet,
Everybody accuses Louise.
Everybody
well,
blames
Louise
Louise.
did it. I mean, come on, what are we doing here? It was Louise. It's like, wait, why does everybody think it was me? Because it probably was.
because she's the mischief maker.
Right, exactly.
So she goes on, and the second day when they're working on the brine, Louise is working on
Her chart.
like a chart of like who did what. Kind of similar to the chart that they had for who was Jean's crush. There's
Pretty similar. These were just Polaroids.
Yeah, they're just
that
pictures of everybody.
that they tagged onto a bulletin board. And I love that did you catch this? She's using the turkey baster as her pointer when she starts pointing to pictures. I thought that was really clever. Whoever thought of that gets an A+. As far as what everyday object could she use as a pointer during her rundown, right? During her wrap up. Her who done it. And she goes around and she says, was it this person? It could have been this person.
Like,
Here's their
people.
motive.
It's
And,
Tina.
yeah.
She'd stop at nothing for grown-up stuffing. It did, and then it's Jean thinks there's only room at this table for one songbird. And then I love when she goes, was it Gail? And Gail goes, a classic revenge tale.
Yeah.
And then maybe it was Linda. Sweet Linda. The suffering wife stuck in a bad marriage.
Yeah. Which is good. And then Linda gets
And then it
really
leaves
into
me,
it.
who's Louise, with no motive at all. Goodbye.
Yeah, right.
Or whatever she says.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that brings into the talking, what we said with Tina trying to act older. She goes, what an imagination on this one, huh? Kids. So she's trying to say that it's not her, and yet nobody's buying it.
No
right
one's
at the moment.
buying it.
So then she gets a little antsy, and she goes up to Gail, and she's like, confess, Gail, it was you. Confess you're guilty as hell.
Yeah.
Because she thought that'd be a way to break somebody.
Right,
into
just start
saying
shaking
it.
him, and then same thing with Tina. Tina, you did it! He's like, no, Louise, stop
Yeah.
it. Right. So she doesn't really get in trouble because she doesn't confess, but at the same time, like nobody knows who did it, and so like nobody's really getting in trouble.
Well, and Bob's just getting
so they-
furious because he first it's because he doesn't have time to do the 3-day brine. Second, it becomes he's over budget for Thanksgiving, and it's the worst Thanksgiving of all time. He just wants people to confess. He just wants somebody to admit that they did it, and he'll be okay with whoever said it, and then they can just be done.
Right.
And that never happens.
Right.
So that's why he has to go buy 4 turkeys from the butcher. Louise continues on trying to figure out who did it. We get a nice little moment where he's where it's, I think it's the final day, and she finally has she's like breaking down who did it.
Right. And
so
well, that's the moment, not where she guesses correctly, but she pins it all on Tina and Jean because she said it's because for the past 5 years I've been stealing their allowances, and she's like, wait, you have?
Oh, you didn't know that?
Didn't
Did
know
I?
it? No. Oh no, then I haven't. Don't worry. And they're whew. They're just very relieved, and she thought it was them, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And she goes around. It's like, was it Linda? No. Was it Gail? No. And just kind of goes around and says, very accusatory. Was it you? No, it wasn't you. And then keeps moving on until her final guess, with no proof, is just Tina and Gina, and she's very far off. But
it turns out it was Bob.
It turns out it was Bob. Yep.
And he's putting the turkeys in the toilet because he's having a reoccurring dream about potty training Tina, and it's because he's trying to come to terms with Tina acting like an adult.
Right. This is what they think it's what they think it stems from. Yeah, is him not wanting his little girl to grow up. It's like, you can grow up a little bit, just no makeup, no lipstick.
Yeah.
It's kind of what they. Geez, what am I trying to say here? Why can't I think of words?
I don't know.
Words
are tough.
Words are tough. That's what they. What is the thing when you come to an agreement on? They come to an agreement on it. How about that? Because I can't think of the word because I'm terrible right now. Okay, my new house. I moved now. I'm all moved in, more or less, but my basement is flooded, so my mind is elsewhere right now. So I apologize. That's my excuse for being stupid.
That's fine.
So yeah, there's tons of water in my
basement.
So
it turns out that as we said, it's the medication that's causing the issue. And he's like, you can grow up, just no lipstick, no pantyhose.
Yeah, like that whole thing that she wanted to do. Like,
but
this is what we do.
But then it links back to what she had said earlier about her talking point, because she goes, I don't think anyone still wears those, right? In this economy.
which is really funny.
And so then they end on a family hug, but Teddy and Mort are over for Thanksgiving. And so the family hug includes Teddy and Mort, which we know Teddy's always wanted that, because Teddy's like, why are you hugging so? Or Bob's like, why are you hugging so hard, Teddy? And he goes, because I'm so full of love, Bob.
So full of love, Bob, and he's just really giving it to him. Yeah, I thought that was really funny too. And so
that's really it for that story.
I mean, that's it for that story. I mean, what other story do you want to cover? Like Bob sleepwalking?
Well, there's not much to cover on that because we don't know that he's sleepwalking until the end. Mm-hmm. So the fact that that's we could talk about the humor of the episode. I mean, the story is pretty cut and dry.
Right.
No pun intended with cutting turkey. But there are some pretty humorous parts in this episode. One just randomly off the top of my head.
There are a lot of good parts.
One off the top of my head is when Bob is in there working on his 2 turkeys to try to confuse people, which ends up, that actually goes into 2 different areas. So the first joke is he's working on these 2 turkeys, and then Linda's like, this is getting me horny. Do you want to do stuff?
All these turkeys.
And Bob's like, I don't want to do anything. I guess I do.
See, and that's actually, I'm glad that you said that, because I thought it wasn't necessarily like a funny moment, even though it was a little, funny, but I thought it was more of a nice Bob and Linda moment. Like, we see that they actually get along, and, we kind of get this glimpse, a deeper glimpse into their marriage. Yeah. As opposed to just they own the restaurant and they have the kids, right? It's more like they do love each other, and you don't see that a lot, in the day-to-day, Bob's Burgers. So it was really nice, behind closed doors. But Linda originally came in there to get more deodorant because she was sweating through.
A double coat.
A double coat, yeah. She's really sweating through. But it was nice. It's like, oh, let's just fool around a little bit. And Bob's like, yeah, maybe we should, kind of thing. But it wasn't more like, oh, yeah. It wasn't more reluctance. It's like, yeah, it sounds like fun. Because I love you too.
Until the armpits.
Yeah, until the armpits, and then that kind of killed the mood.
Then that leads into the other funny moment, because the only reason he told Linda was because Linda promised that she wouldn't tell anybody. Right. And it ends up that she told everybody.
She told everybody, but she tells everybody everything, because we find out that she told Gail that during Jerry Maguire, Bob didn't want to miss anything, so he peed in his pants.
Yeah, in the theater.
Come on, Bob. You're better than that.
Yeah. So that, I think that just led into that other part, which I thought was pretty funny. Another thing that I really like was actually I'll let you do one, because this one isn't really funny. It was just
okay.
It was a great observation that we've done.
Sure.
That we talked about before.
I did like the part, and I think this is one of my last. Oh no, I have another good joke too. So when everybody was like complaining about, wait, what'd you do with the turkey? I threw it away. Why'd you throw it away? It was in the toilet. It's like, why would you throw a perfectly good toilet away, Dad? It's like, it wasn't perfectly good. It was in the toilet. Like that whole, and that happened like 3 or 4 times. Like then Teddy was like, well, what'd you do with the turkey? I threw it away. What is it with everybody wanting to eat things out of the toilet? And then that whole chaotic scene, the very first one where they find the turkey in the toilet, where, Bob is trying to get it out of there and it falls in the cat litter, and Linda's throwing up everywhere. And it was hilarious. And I think the cat's in there. They're trying to get the cat out. It was really, really funny. And I love that whole scene. And I wish I could watch it all the time. I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah. No, yeah, just that whole running thing about what'd you do with Teddy? Because Teddy was the one who wants to eat it out of the toilet too. He's like, what'd you do with the old turkey?
Yeah,
at the very beginning.
It's like, no, it's
perfectly. It wasn't perfectly.
It
good,
wasn't
Teddy.
perfectly good. It was in the toilet. Yeah, that was my favorite part.
But that's also where he mentions something that we see in the end credit scene, which we'll get to. He mentions rat in a hat. He's been talking about I've seen a hat wearing a little hat. Same rat, different hat. And he's got a picture. And then at the end in the credit sequence when they're singing the gravy boat, the rat's on the floor
with a hat.
So one thing that I noticed, it's not really funny, but I thought it was really clever, and I think it was just because of Gail's character. So at the very end, when Louise is about to give her final conclusion as to who done it, and everybody goes, ooh, is like really involved. You can hear
they got really into it.
You can hear Gail saying, ooh, peas and carrots, which is the thing that you're supposed to say, that they used to say in old Hollywood to mimic those noises to make it sound like people were having background conversation.
Sure.
But the fact that she's saying it during this, I thought was hilarious. And it was a nice little callback to that, and it would be something Gail would say.
First of all, that's a great catch. I didn't quite hear that because Linda going, ooh, really loud. So I didn't catch that. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Peas and carrots, peas and carrots.
Oh, peas and carrots. And you can just hear it trail off like it's supposed to.
Right.
But I thought it was funny seeing that it's Thanksgiving themed as well. But it is something that they would have said to mimic conversation, to mimic outcry, background, people talking. That's what they used to say.
And maybe they wrote down like Gail, says something, but then since
I would guess
Megan Mullally's been around, she knows that she's just supposed to say peas and carrots, and she thought it was funny because she couldn't say anything. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's.
She
just
couldn't
funny.
think of anything.
I just think it was just a fun play on what they used to do, and that it's Thanksgiving and everything. I thought that was very, very, very cool that I caught that. And I actually had to rewind it because I heard her say carrots, and I was like, wait a second. So I pushed the rewind button and then heard it again, and peas and carrots.
The rewind button on your VCR.
Oh yeah, the rewind button that pushed me back 10 seconds.
So, as I was saying, to the terrorist who tried to stop me from serving this, I wanted on the record that turkey was served on this day.
But before we do that, I need to serve some justice. Because I know who put the turkey in the toilet. Da, 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 da.
Oh my God,
Peas and
she's
carrots.
got it.
Peas and carrots.
It's nice.
And then actually when you push rewind 10 seconds, it would fast forward again like 5.5 seconds, and you only got like
the first 2 seconds of it.
The last 4 seconds of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else. I want to talk quick about the meta jokes, though.
Sure.
Because we did talk about the burger, which was the Gordon Hamzy. We had the store next door, which is the Dr. Rangelove Stove Store, which is just a play on Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah, which I really liked. Dr. Rangelove.
Rangelove Stove Store.
I like that a lot.
And then the Oh No You Rodent Exterminator, which is just a
which is a pretty good one. Yeah.
And then the credit sequence we talked about, it's Gail and Linda singing the Gravy Boat song and then the rat kind of scurries through. But anything that has an original song is always good in my boat.
Absolutely.
In my gravy boat.
In your gravy. Ooh, that's nice. Sailors in your mouth.
Ooh, I hope not.
So that's going to do it for the episode?
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to add. It was, it's another episode that we've come across.
It was a very clean-cut episode, I feel. There wasn't a lot going on, but in a way, outside of the house, but inside the house, there was a lot going on, which you always like to see. It's kind of like those Seinfeld episodes where, they never leave the Chinese restaurant, or the episode of Friends where they never leave the apartment. The one where nobody's ready. Yeah. And so this is a moment minus Bob going out to, get another turkey. You could have kind of cut all that together where they're all at, the house.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's even with like Teddy, like he's in the restaurant for a little bit, but he doesn't ever leave. So
That's true. So it was.
I do want to mention real quick,
Yeah.
just while we're talking about Teddy.
Yeah.
When Bob is sleepwalking, and they go, "Do we wake him?" And he goes, "Never wake a sleepwalker. They could get violent. And whatever you do, don't give him an axe."
Yeah. And then Linda's like, "Why would we give him an axe? Why is that even an option?" Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was pretty funny too. So, should we do our ratings?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the episode in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, in a turkey can.
In a turkey can. That's pretty much the turkey in the can.
Nice. That's
so
very
we're
good.
gonna stop. We're gonna get our ratings, and we will come back with our final thoughts.
It was the allergy pills. Says right here. Side effects include sleepwalking, sleep talking, night terrors, and dry mouth. Contact your doctor if you lose vision or if your heart stops beating.
That doesn't explain why Dad kept dreaming about toilet training me.
Yeah, the same dream over and over. It's gotta mean something. Like the time I dreamt about a dolphin and I woke up and my bed was on fire.
What did that dream mean?
Just that I didn't have balance in my life. I was spending too much time at work. Also, I shouldn't leave matches right by my bed. I had just gone to the aquarium. It probably had something to do with that.
All right, we're done.
We are done.
We got our numbers crunched. Do you got 2 minutes?
Oh, I got 2 minutes. Are you ready for this 2 minutes?
I don't even think it'll take us 2 minutes, but I'm ready for 2 minutes.
All right, ready? Go.
I'm ready. All right, so we got the gigs, fun stuff, episode fun bits.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Rangelove, I know you wrote in Gordon Hamsey, and then the credit sequence, I gave that an 8.
I also gave it an 8.
I think that was we talked about it just prior to this. The Dr. Rangelove was cool. I always love a credit sequence that has
an original song.
Song.
We're suckers for music.
Or if it has even just extra dancing or something. It doesn't even have to have a song, but when it's more than just Bob cooking and the kids helping, if there's something going on in the background that's consistent, I do like that. So that's an 8.
That's on theme, on point. Yeah, give it an 8 as well. Pretty much the same reasons.
Sure. I gave a story an 8 as well. It's a very good story. I always love holiday themed stories. And this one was good. I really liked the splintering off onto a couple things, but Bob was still center of this episode, which we don't get many Bob-centered episodes.
Not a ton. At least not lately. I give it an 8 as well. Really liked, again, being the majority in the Belcher household. I always like the world building. In this one, we decided to kind of show more of their house and their kitchen and kind of their daily routine. So I love that a lot.
Humor, I gave an 8 as well. We just talked about the parts that I really liked a lot. The side story with the deli manager was good. Just the whole Louise being the interrogator was always worth a laugh too. So I gave that an 8.
I gave it a 9. I thought there was one part that I was saving for our wrap up where Tina goes into the toilet after the first turkey's in there and she goes, there was something in the toilet and I didn't see it and it was cold and I sat on it and now I'm never going to be able to go to the bathroom again. Yeah. It was like so traumatizing to her. I thought that was absolutely hilarious.
And then other, I gave a 9. I gave the 9 for the song. I gave it a 9 because everything, all the parts were great. Teddy giving a big hug at the end. I always love a good Teddy bit there. And then we did have Megan Mullally come in, Tuck Watkins we talked about, and then Andy Kindler came back too. So that gets a 9 for me.
I gave the other an 8. I thought the Tina thrashing was a nice little throwback. We saw her thrash a couple of different times in the middle of the night.
Nice little montage in the middle there.
Yep. So that was another good attention to detail. That's 2 minutes.
Sweet. So that's an 8.3 for Brian, 8.1 for myself, which
solid.
gives it an 8.2.
What a solid episode. Which
puts that, it's a little bit behind the Thanksgiving episode from last year.
Okay.
It's a better episode for you, a worse episode for me. But still 8.2 is a very solid episode that puts
and I didn't mention it because we ran out of time. I'm going to do it anyway. I love Baby Tina. I love any time we see small Tina. I don't know why.
I've noticed that at least in the episodes that I remember going forward into seasons that we'll get to a long time from now, that most of the time we see Baby Tina, it's revolving around a toilet. Don't know if that's intentional or if that's just what that is, but Baby Tina is often using a potty or talking about a potty.
Let's see if it holds up.
But yeah, so 8.2 puts that at the second best episode of this season, right behind Fortnite.
Yeah.
So it is. We always are sucker for, as you can see with Fortnite, we are suckers for holiday themed episodes, and there's nothing wrong with either the 2 episodes today.
No, nothing wrong with that at all.
So I think that's going to do it for this week's episode. Next week, I'm really excited.
Why is that, Ryan?
Because it is Purple Rain Union.
What?
Yes, with her band, the Tatas. And I really do enjoy this episode a lot. Okay. Because there's so much that goes on in this episode.
So stay tuned for next week when we have Ryan's one of your favorites or your most
for this season.
Your most hyped 4. One that we're coming up on.
Yeah, like season 4 has a bunch of good ones, but this is the first one that I do remember having lots of of good memories about and just really enjoying it. And I think I did just catch it recently when it was on random in the background. So it's one of those that I don't skip ever because it is a fun one to just watch.
Sure.
We'll see if it holds up though when we do our ratings because I've said that before and my hype train has gone down a little bit. Yeah. So that's going to do it for us. Before we take up any more of your time, we do want to mention that September 15th is going to be our Extra Life. Ryan, where can they check us out? Well, we are at Burgers and Fries or Burgers Fries Pod on Twitter.
I meant for the Twitch streaming. Sorry.
Oh well, we'll get to that when we get there, but it'll be most likely twitch.tv. We'll just do Burgers and Fries probably when we're doing that one.
That's fine.
Otherwise, we'll keep us posted on Twitter and all the social
media.
Yeah,
we'll post everything on Twitter. Yeah, where we're at. It's a 24-hour marathon. We're going all day. Hoping some of our listeners could donate to the cause. It's really great. Going to Children's Miracle Network hospitals. You can look it up as far as
we'll post links to where
fundraisers go. It's a pretty good one.
To where you can donate to our thing. We might, Brian and I each have individual ones, but maybe we'll just do a burgers and fries one and maybe post a link for that.
Yeah, could do that too. So, we're on Twitter at burgersfriespod. You can Gmail us, burgersfriespod@gmail.com. That's another good one. Other than that, we're everywhere you subscribe to your podcast.
Just search us up on Burgers and just look up Burgers and Fries podcast, Bob's Burgers podcast. You will find us.
We will be there.
And I think that's going to do it. Thank you for listening.
Yep, I'm Brian.
I'm Ryan. Don't you tell me no lies.